Morning, everyone. I am Deekshith, currently pursuing computer science and engineering at SASTRA Deemed University. Today, I am here to present my internship project based on full stack web development. In this presentation, I will explain my project, its architecture with frontend and backend. First, I will explain the project overview. Then, I will discuss system architecture. I will explain front-end and back-end development. Next, I will cover full stack technologies. My project is a music streaming web application. Users can register, log in, browse songs, and play music. They can also manage playlists and profiles. Uh, this application is developed using the MERN Stack Development. It focuses on good user experience and smooth performance. The front end is developed using React. The backend is built using Node.js and Express. MongoDB is used as a database. Frontend communicates with backend through REST APIs. Backend interacts with database and sends responses. Backend handles all server-side operations. Index.js starts the server and connects database. Controllers contain business logic. The routes define API endpoints, and models define database schema. Middleware checks the authentication and security purpose. The authentication and security JWT is used for user authentication. The passwords are encrypted before storing. Middleware verifies user's token. Unauthorized users are restricted. This ensures that secure access is being given to the application. Now we come to front end. Front end is developed using React and White. Index HTML contains the main root element, which is front end. Main JSX renders the application base, which is app JSX manages layout. The components are reusable, and Redux manages global state of the front end. Now I will explain what I have learned in my project, which is about HTML, CSS, React components, custom hooks, application flow, and full stack development, and also database, client server communication, deployment, and the learning outcomes. HTML is that which provides the basic structure. The CSS and Tailwind provide styling. They make the application responsive. What they make is to improve user experience. Each component has separate CSS files. Coming to React components, authentication components handle the login and sign up folders. The player components manage music playback. Layout, which components control user interface. The search and song components manages the browsing network. Application flow. User first registers or login in. After login, user browses songs. User selects a song to play. Then music starts playing. Then user manages profiles and playlists which are in localhost. Full stack development includes front-end, back-end, and database. Front-end handles the user interface. Back-end handles the logic, which is API. Database stores data. What it does is developers manages all parts. HTML is used for structure. CSS is used for the styling. JavaScript, it adds the logic behind. React builds dynamic interfaces. These technologies create interactive websites. MongoDB, coming to database, MongoDB is a NoSQL database. The data which is stored in the documents. It collects the contained documents. Mongoose connects database to backend, which it simplifies database operations. Coming to client-server communication, front-end sends requests using Axios, then backend processes requests, which data is sent in JSON format. The other REST principles are followed. This enables the smooth communication between them. Frontend can be deployed on Vercel or Netlify. Backend can be deployed on Render. Database is hosted on MongoDB Atlas. The cloud deployment makes application availability globally. Coming to it, what I have learned in this project is API creation skills, front-end, backend, gained debugging experience. Got experience in debugging the lot of errors. I improved the teamwork and confidence and communication skills in the asking doubts and etc. I will conclude it. This internship gave me practical exposure. I have learned industry level development practices, which it improved my technical and professional skills. This in turn will lead to experience with uh, which helps my future career. Yes, I have explained about what I have learned in this project. Now we will come to discussion of the project. Yeah, this is a MERN Stack. The project is about MERN Stack music player app. We will do front-end and back-end codes. Front-end, which handles UI and user actions. Back-end handles authentication, songs, APIs, database, and etc. Here I use API for music data. Backend is structured using MVC pattern. MVC, which defines models, controllers, and rules. Uh, Folders are configuration folder, connect DB.js. What it does is connects backend to MongoDB, which uses Mongoose. It reads database URL from env called once when server starts. App starts, which app starts, connect DB runners, database connection opens, then if connection fails, app stops. ImageKit.js. This is ImageKit folder, which handles media upload configuration. Stores API keys securely, which is used to upload images or assets. Keeps credentials outside main logic. Coming to controllers folder, auth controller folder. This is auth controller folder, which handles user authentication and sign up login logic, the password hashing, and token generation. Request comes from frontend, controller validates the input which is given, and then it talks to user model, which it in turn sends response to client. Song controller JS. This is song controller JS, which handles the music related logic, which the API is Jamendo. Fetch songs from Jamendo API. It saves songs data if needed. Sends song list to frontend. No database code in roots, which in which no HTTP logic in the models, which have clean separation in the code. Coming to middleware folder, this is middleware folder. Protects the this code shows us how to protect private routes. It checks the JWT token. It uh, verifies logged in user. Request hits protected route. Middleware runs first. Then token is valid. If token is valid, it goes to next. If token is invalid, access is denied. It is reusable security. It is centralized authentication logic. Then coming to models folder, it defines user schema, which and where fields like name, email, and password, which is given, uses Mongoose schema. It in turn handles database structure, one source of truth. It values the data shape, prevents bad data. Coming to roots folder, this is root folder. The code which does is uh, defines the authentication endpoints. It calls authentication controller, sends the response. Coming to song roots, it defines the music endpoints, songs, it where maps URL sends to logic, then server is organizer. Utils folder, send email folder. This is what send email folder is. It handles the email logic behind it. Use it for the verification or alerts in email logics. It keeps email code separately. It is reusable helper functions which no business logic is inside. Env file. This is what env file is. Index.js. Coming to index.js file, it imports the express. It loads environment. variables, connects database, and it registers middleware, and it sets up routes, and finally starts the server. Env, coming to Env, I didn't say that. It stores secrets, database URL, JWT secret, and it does API keys. Uh, it leads to security, easy configuration change, not pushed to GitHub. Coming to front-end and back-end flow. The users open the app, then front-end sends the request, then back-end validates the request which came from front-end. Controller processes the logic which is given, then the response is sent back. Front-end updates the UI. For example, user clicks the play button, then front-end calls song route, etc. Why this structure? Coming to routing, what is routing? Routing means deciding where a request goes. For example, you use routing to a map to a URL and HTTP method to specific code. In your MERN backend, routing is done using Express. What routing does? Listens to a request, checks the URL, checks the HTTP method, calls the correct controller function. For example, songs, route matches or songs, controller song functions, response is sent back. Why routing matters? It keeps URLs organized, it separates logic from server setup. What it makes is apps the scalable. The flow which frontend sends the request, the route catches it, the request which is sent by the frontend, and the middleware runs if attached. The controller executes the logic. Simple definition. Routing is the process of directing client requests to the current backend logic based on the URL and method. Now the frontend part is concluded. Coming to backend, this folder holds the entire client side. Everything the user sees lives here. Inside frontend, the key parts are src folder, env file. Coming to env file, this is env file of the backend. Why env file matters is we do not change hardcode secrets in code. You change backend URLs without touching code. SRC folder, coming to SRC folder, this is SRC, which is source folder. This is the heart of the frontend. Inside SRC, main items are components, hooks, pages, Redux, app.js, JSX, main JSX. Coming to main JSX folder, it is the entry point where React app starts here. The app component is rendered into the browser DOM. Redux provider is usually attached here. What we can say is this file connects React to the browser. Coming to app.jsx file, app.jsx controls the structure of the app. What happens here is routes are defined. Layout components wraps the pages, which common UI loads here. App.jsx decides what the user sees. Coming to components folder, this is components folder. This folder holds the reusable UI and logic blocks. Each subfolder has a clear role. Coming to authentication folder, this is authentication folder. This handles the user authentication. The files are auth.jsx, login.jsx, signup.jsx, edit profile JSX, reset password JSX. The purpose of this code is to log in and uh, sign up for the user. It updates the profile. It allows to reset the password. The flow which user enters data is sends the request to backend. It returns a token or status in which Redux stores authentication state. It often acts as a wrapper or guard. Coming to common folder, it avoids the what it does is avoids the repeating UI code, the same input style everywhere, the same model behavior everywhere. Logic and login and sign up both reuse input. Coming to layout folder, this is layout folder. The purpose of this code is the making the structure of the page. fixing UI parts stay constant. It changes inside main area. Coming to player folder, the purpose of this code is to control the audio, current song info, and the handling of the playlist. Control area handles play, pause, next, and previous buttons. Song details shows song name, artist name, etc. Song list displays the available songs. Playlist manages queue or the user list. This folder connects UI to audio logic. Coming to search folder, search usually reads user input and filters the data from Redux or API. Yeah, coming to songs folder, the purpose of this code is to display the songs which are visually given. And the song card arranges multiple song cards and it responses to the layout. Coming to utils folder, the purpose of this is to help functions and formatting the time and formatting the strings which is reusable for the logic. Coming to hooks folder, this code is called reusable logic units. A hook is a function that manages state and behavior. It is to create audio object, to play a song, to pause a song, track current time, to track duration, handles next and previous. The audio logic is complex in it. Multiple components can be need on it. The hook avoids the duplication, which controls the audio. Coming to pages folder, it loads song list, shows the player, shows the layout, and the components do small jobs, and the pages do big jobs. Coming to Redux folder, inside Redux, the store.js creates the Redux store. Here, all the slices are combined. The store is exported in it. Then the app uses this store. This is the brain of the state management. Coming to slices folder, slices it defines the pieces of the state. Authentication slice folder. It handles the user state, which user info, login status, and token. The actions which is taken by the login, logout, and update profile. Any component can be accessed using authentication state. Coming to UI slice folder, this code handles the UI state of the which separates UI logic is different from user logic. It cleans the structure of the code. User, how it works is user opens app, main JSX loads app JSX, then app JSX loads layout and the routes. Home page loads the song data, song grid shows song cards, and the user clicks a song, then song list sends data to Redux, then use audio player hooks, then the audio is played. Control area controls the playback, then authentication state decides the access. UI slice controls the models and loaders. The structure is separation of concepts and easy to debug and easy to scale. It is reusable logic and it is a clean folder design. The structure fits the real production apps. Uh, Coming to hooks. Hooks are React functions. They let you use state and logic inside function components. Why hooks exist? Before hooks, only class component had a state. The hooks let the functions components handles the logic. The code stays shorter and clear. What hooks does is it stores the state and run the side effects. It shares the logic between components. Why we use the hooks is to reuse logic without copying code and keeping components clean. It separates logic from the UI. For example, use audio player handles audio play, pause, progress buttons. Player components called hook, audio logic stays in one place. Common hooks we see is use state, use effect, use selector, use distract. What it does is it stores data like song or time. It runs code on load or update. It reads Redux state and sends action to the Redux. Coming to conclusion, hooks let you write the reusable logic in function in which uh, components without using classes. Demo. The demo of the project, what I have done is coming to, it has the sign up and login for our personal purpose, where here we need to enter the name, the email ID and the password, and we can also put our profile photo. Here I am entering my email and the password I will enter it, and we can sign up here. Yeah, it is signed in up, and it is, we can also have logout button which logouts, and again we can sign up. Here I am entering the, before I have given my email address, the password which I have given, and I am logging. Yes. Here the song is played. This is, we can resume the song and convert the song to next, and we can also prefer some fast forward and slow forward. We can also prefer from slow and fast forward in the song, between the song, and we can change the songs in our priority, and we can also like the song. We can, after liking the song, we can see in the favorites. Yeah. Coming to favorite, the two songs which I have liked. The playlists which are here are the playlists we can search here. We can save the playlist and the name of the song and the name of the artist and the name of the year and duration of the song. Jamendo API alert show Jamendo. Here we can also search the song. Wait, wait a minute. It will come. It will take some time. Some time. Yeah, the preferred song is shown. Wait a minute to load the song. Here we can increase the sound and decrease the sound. Here we can edit the profile of ours. Here we can change the profile and we can change the name and also change the email if we are needed. Then if we again log out, we can check that if it is working. I'm entering the email and the password and I'm logging. Yeah, it is working. This is what it does, increasing and decreasing the sound, and we can also increase the speed of the song and decrease the speed of the song here. We can also do forgot password. Yeah, here I am entering my email which I have forgot the password, and we can send the reset link to that email. Yeah, it is showing no user is found. Yeah, that is first we have given. Now it is sending the reset link. Wait a minute, the network is an issue. There is a network issue. Wait a minute. The reset link is sent to the email. Now we can check there. Here, the reset link for again uh, creating a password for our email is sent to our email. Here, the reset link is given. Here, we can click. Yeah, here. Wait a minute. The sandboxes, the authentication, and reset password. Here, the reset link is given. We can click here, and we can again enter our password. And also, this link which is expires in 10 minutes. Within 10 minutes, we should click the link and reset our password. Yeah, here we can enter our new password and click on reset password. Yeah, yeah. Now I have changed my password. I am entering the new password I have created using the reset link. Yeah, now it is showing logged in. This is how we can do it. Here it tests. This is authorization testing in API network. And the body is coming to the conclusion. In this internship, what I have learned is I have learned the full stack web development course, not as in taking the certificate of the internship, and also I have learned new skills and solving the debugging errors, and also gained an experience from this internship to do other internships, and I have gained some skills which are teamwork and communication skills. Thank you. Thank you, teachers, mentors, which where I have gained much of knowledge from them. Thanking you very much. Signing off.